Hey, hello everyone, here we go. Back on stream again. Happy Friday, everybody. So happy. It is Friday, you have no idea. Looking forward to this weekend. We have 3 streams scheduled. First time I've done this in forever. Not going to be on the YouTube algorithm at all, but we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot and yeah, see what we can do here. Anyways, happy Friday evening, everybody, and if anybody's tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Sitting there in front of us is the iniBuilds A300R, 600R, and Pan American colors. You can see the name of the airplane if we look down the front. I'm just going to point this out right now, just in case anybody says anything. It says Clipper Tampa on the front, and that is because this was the only Pan American livery that I could find. Excuse me. And there is Pan American liveries available on flightsim.to. There's one in particular, but I didn't want to download it and put it in the community folder just because, I don't know, I was feeling, I don't really like doing that lately. I've never told this story yet, but I'll get to it in a little bit. Anyways, Farmer, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. As always, Farmer is always here. Loyal subscriber, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump in the airplane and get our services going. We are heading from San Francisco to Los Angeles and then back. So a round-trip service. This was an actual service that Pan American ran for a very short time in the 1990s. So we'll go ahead and take advantage of these short route times for a quick evening stream. Only about 45 to 55 minutes each leg, which is great. Gives you the opportunity to get the A300 up and, you know, fly a little distance. And, you know, you might think like, oh, such a big airplane for such a short route. From what the research I done is they use the A300 excuse me, for a short time for this service just due to the demand, and it was high density. And you gotta remember, this was in a time before ETOPS, so A300s couldn't fly over water, over the ocean, so they mainly did high volume domestic flights. And it's interesting, I learned a lot about the history of them when I was looking into it, so that's kind of cool. So now I have better route ideas for the A300, and that's where I got all the stream ideas, obviously, for this weekend. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm really looking forward to the A300. I really like it. I practiced flying again off stream, and we actually got a minus 167 on touchdown. So we're really getting this airplane dialed in and starting to learn it, and I love it because it's a proper wide body here, finally, something that is impressive. So anyways, let's just jump right in, folks. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, the frame gen mod. Yes, I came across this and decided to take advantage of it and see if it works, and it absolutely does. It's completely boosted my frames 100%. If you're on PC, it's super easy to install, not difficult at all. Not difficult at all to install on your PC, and it hasn't really done anything to my simulator yet. I haven't done a full flight with it installed, but we're able to run a solid, we're getting 45 frames, 47 right now, with ultra and high settings mixed with the A300, which is a taxing piece of, you know, software itself, with the traffic on now that you can see, with the level of detail at 150 and 4K resolution. And we're getting 47 frames while streaming on the same PC, which is absolutely crazy. You need to ping the server, it's lonely here. Well, I did announce on the Discord that we were streaming, and you know, that's unfortunately what happens when you stop streaming for a good long while like I did, just because I don't know, I just fell out of touch with it, and I'm excited to be doing it again and getting back into it. So, you know, all the followers, you know, hope that they see the Discord messages and hope that they turn the notifications on where they see me streaming and be like, oh shit, Mike, you know, he's streaming, first time in forever. I'm hoping that's what starts to happen as time goes on. So we will see. Anyways, let's jump in the airplane, ladies and gentlemen, and get everything going. Here we are, cold and dark, nothing going on. First thing we're going to do is come on down over here to our fly pad. And, well, I call it a fly pad, but it's not really a fly pad. It's called a EFB. And we can get everything going. Let's go over here to My Flight. We will import from SimBrief. There we go. You can see San Francisco International to Los Angeles International, or weather. Right now, we're looking beautiful in San Francisco. No winds, barely any clouds. Few at 2,500. You know, that's about it. Nothing going on here. Should be a very smooth departure route. Right now, going into LAX. Looks like we're looking at variable winds, 4 knots, which isn't bad. Visibility is great. Few clouds at 14,000. Looking like great weather to be flying today overall, both to and from. And it's a Friday, people. It's with family. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I understand that. But, you know, even if people pop in for, you know, 20 minutes, just say, hey, check things out, drop the like, and leave, I understand. Like, you know, I'm not expecting someone to sit there and watch me literally for 3 hours straight. I'm grateful for the people that do. Believe me. Okay. Now that we have an idea of what our flight plan is going to look like, we even have our routing down here. How flipping convenient. That's beautiful, huh? Yep, flight level 350 is what we're cruising at. That's our departure SID. Looking good. What is our departure runway? Looking like it's going to be 1 left. So, should be nice. Heading up to the overhead panel, we will go ahead and turn on batteries 1, 2, and 3. You can hear the airplane coming to life, and we will also engage the external power. All of the various systems coming online. We will go ahead and... a little choppy there. Still going to happen, unfortunately, while everything loads in. But even inside the airplane here, we are rocking consistently, you know, 40 plus frames as we look around. And finally, to have it look this smooth and look this good is just absolutely insane. You know, that frame gen mod, if you're on PC, fellas, go ahead and install that. It only works for RTX cards, though, so you need to have a 20 series or a 30 series card in order to do it. So I will throw that warning out there. It is not compatible with all GPUs, unfortunately. Let's clear out our display messages. Just click that a whole bunch of times. There we go. Next thing we want to do is our aiders. Our aiders up here, you can just barely see them on the top of the screen, but we will get the left into nav mode, the right into nav mode, and then the center into nav mode. Confirm that they are all in a line. There they go. Perfect. They are all aligning. That's exactly what we want. We'll get the galley power on as well. We'll also get our emergency exit lights armed. Nav and logos on. Am I forgetting anything? Yes, we'll go ahead and get the no smokers on as well. And we'll get the window heaters on as well. Our air temperatures. Oh yeah, we are forgetting one thing. We want to come over here and get our external power on, and we'll run battery 3. Alright, everything is looking well. Awesome. Alright, heading on down here to the MCDU, we can get to business and start getting our flight plan all coded in. We see the Align IRS message that is always there. We'll go ahead and clear that out, and then we will enter in our flight. Here we go. Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar for San Francisco. We'll hit the /, and then we will enter in Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray for Los Angeles. Click the 2 in the from, hit return. There we go, we have our latitude and longitude now all there for us, and we will align the IRS. Now that we've done that, let's go up to the overhead and let's check out our status on the ILS and see we have 6 minutes until align is complete. While that's doing its thing, we'll take the opportunity to head over here back to the EFB, and we will get our fuel and payload all sorted. We are only going to use GSX for pushback and departure. We aren't going to be using it for loading and unloading, but we will be doing that tomorrow morning, by the way, when we fly the A300 again, this time with FedEx doing some cargo ops. We'll go ahead and do the whole cargo loading process with GSX. I tried it out tried it out the other afternoon, and it worked out great. So we'll go ahead and try that tomorrow. We're going to update the load right from SimBrief. It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen, here in the A300. Thank you, iniBuilds, for this. You can see from SimBrief we only have 6 passengers. Okay. So that's going to affect our load a little bit. So I think we're going to make a different flight plan, regenerate it, because that's annoying to me. So hold on. Let's go edit the flight here in SimBrief. 6 passengers. What on earth is that? Like, come on, man. Let's just refresh it and see if it gives us something more realistic. That's 6. That's the crew. Jesus. Okay. We have regenerated the flight plan. Let's go ahead and refresh. We'll import from SimBrief again. And let's hope that it... 2? What is going on here? What is happening? 2 passengers. No. What is going on with the SimBrief? Max passengers is 8. What? Error! I should what I've done here. That there be the problem. We are in the freighter version of the A300. There we go. We were in the freighter version of the A300 on SimBrief for the airframe from my last flight on an accident. Whoops. Regenerate our flight plan yet again. Come back over here, go to my flight, wait for SimBrief to catch up. Awesome. Import from SimBrief. There we go. Kind of reset everything for us, which means we have to go back into Navigraph. And re-import the latest one. Okay. Groovy. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. Always something, huh? Burner, what's going on? 2 isn't even a full A300 crew, I know, right? What on earth is going on? Okay. Try this again. Weight and balance. Hey, look at that. 236 passengers. That is quite a load. 50,989 pounds. Wonderful. Plenty of cargo to go along with it. Wow. Finally. we'll just apply that load to the aircraft. Right away, we ain't messing around here. Fueling is complete in 6 minutes. Now that that is done, our ILS is aligned, and we can begin getting everything ready to go. We're going to come back up to the overhead and just do a few things quickly. We are going to get all of our pitches on. Excellent. Now that we have that as well, we'll go ahead and get our hydraulics on also. I don't know if that's standard procedure to do that in the A300. If anybody knows, let me know. It's just something I've always done. Let's just go on and turn the hydraulics on right off the ripski. I mean, it can't hurt, right? I mean, unless it burns out the motors quickly or something like that. Could. But I don't know. IRS is still in the line, but we've gotten far enough into the align process to continuing on with what we're doing here. So, getting a look back. Oopsies. Getting a look back at our sim brief flight plan here, we have a cost index of 15. We'll also throw our alternate in there. I don't know why we are going out of order. Los Angeles, that'll be cool, folks. That's not a bad place to end up. If something goes wrong, we can gamble for a little bit and have some fun in LAS. Cruising at 31,000 feet, I believe. Yep, 31,000, that makes sense. We are not going very far, ladies and gentlemen, so no need to go too crazy. We are Pan American Airways 7565. Right? 7565. Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, so this is making things kind of difficult. There we go. Got our flight ID in there. That's not a real Pan American flight number. That's just something that I came up with. Let's go ahead and get our cruise wind all entered in. We need to get that set. Average cruise wind is 314 at 7.3. Nav accuracy upgraded. That means the IRS must be finished. Wonderful. So, that looks like it is good to go from this first section here. We're going to hit the next page. Now we got to get our weights all established here. So we're going to go back to the old fly dicky. I don't know why I just called it that, but I did. And we will get our weight and balance back up here and enter that in. Our zero fuel weight is 28.14. 280.14, right? No, 28.14. We're entering. I am out of my mind tonight, folks. Wait a minute. What? Wow, that's our CG. I don't know why I'm thinking we need to put our CG in first, but I did. Duh. A real PanAm flight number from SFO to LAX would be PAA 415 in 1988. Well, thank you for that information. That is one thing that I couldn't narrow down was at least the time that I had to research, which was only like an hour or two yesterday. I didn't come across any flight numbers, so thank you. Good information there. All right. Zero fuel weight CG is entered in now, but now we can get the real meat and potatoes that we were looking for, which was the amount of fuel that we're bringing along with us, which is going to be 26.13 down here. There we go. We'll get our zero fuel weight entered in, which is 248.24. Excellent. There we go. We have all that entered in. Flight level 310. Optimum flight level is 359, and max is 384, but we're not going forward. We're not going to utilize that, so no need to even bother. Now that we've got that information all entered in, ladies and gentlemen, we can go over here to the flight plan and begin entering everything in. In the meantime, let's actually fire up the APU and pretend we were actually supposed to arm the APU master quite a while ago. But let's pretend that boarding has started now that we are well underway here. And we'll get the fuel pumps on over here as well to support the APU. And we will click start. And let the APU fire on up. I use an application called Flight Sim Dispatch for real-world routes and flight numbers. Do you? I've never heard of it. So thank you for sharing that. I will have to check it out, because that'll make my research... If it makes my research a lot shorter for what to do on stream, I will definitely do it. So thank you, Burner, for that great information. Right, Raft, he says, what's up, MB? I'm on a trip right now. It isn't Denver yet. That's next week. I decided to hop in and say hi. Well, hey, Rye Aircraft, thank you for popping in. Always love when you pop by. Thank you, friend. It goes back to 1950. It will by a lot? Well, good. I'm going to have to check it out. Is it available on, like, is it, like, iPhone? Is it smartphone? Or is it on your PC? I mean, I'll take either or. It doesn't matter. Alright, let's go ahead and get our SID ready to go. Out of San Francisco here. We are departing runway 1 left, and we are taking the Static 5 on out of here. There it is. What is our transition, if there is one? Looks like that is going to be... Actually, it's on our iPad. That way I can show you guys what I'm looking at. Susie, or Sussy, however you want to say it. There it is right there. And we'll insert that in. There we go. Departure is all entered in. From Sussy, we are heading on over to eBay with an E. Excellent. From eBay, that might be our approach, actually. It is. Okay. So we actually don't need to enter anything here from eBay, so we can just go back to the flight plan. And come on down to our arrival and enter in our stall. We are taking 24 left, which is your traditional LAX arrival. And we are going in on the Ermin 2 star. We gotta find it. Where is it? The Ermin 2. I do not see it here. Oh, there it is. I need my glasses. I'm too lazy to get up. And we are going via Burgle. Excellent. We'll insert that in, and now our arrival is all set. The next step, ladies and germs, now that the APU is fired up, is we're going to come up over top, get the APU bleed on, and we'll go ahead and set the temperature for everybody. Ooh, boy, you can hear that come to life. My goodness. Let's go ahead and lower that down a little bit. Yeesh. Here we go. That airflow is insane. Okay, and now we can come up over here and select our source to APU gen, and we can turn off the external power. And just so we don't forget, we're just going to come over here right off the ripski, and we will untoggle the ground power unit. We are almost done setting things up here, folks. Only a few more checklists to go through, or not checklists, just things to do. Takeoff and approach, that's all set and ready to go now. There is absolutely nothing that we need to do. Well, actually, we got to calculate our takeoff. What am I talking about? Let's come over here to the awesome performance tool. It is so much easier now. They have a sync button. It takes all of your information from everything you've already entered into the airplane and puts it here. You hit sync, bam! There's no more needing to enter in everything manually. My goodness, iniBuilds, Whew. Because I hate having to enter everything in because I'm horrible with looking at a screen and then looking back and then, you know, ugh, I hate that. Anyways, stop complaining. Hit calculate for us. That gives us our speeds. Awesome. Now we can enter everything in. The first thing we're going to take care of is the flex temp. So we need to come over here, set this to flex 2, and we had 63 degrees. Dear old dad is in the house. Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining. Good to have you here. That is fantastic. In the A300, gonna do some real-world PanAm ops today. Absolutely excited to be streaming again. You guys have no idea. Gonna be work looking for a bit. Oh boy, you got any jobs going on? What are you working on? It's a PC app? Perfect, because I can sit on my couch and plan routes for days in my free time. So thank you for introducing me to that application. That's fantastic. That's going to save me a lot of time, it sounds like. So we're going to go ahead and check out our plan. Excuse me, I just burped into the microphone. That was very bad. Engine work today. Cool. Let's check out our flight plan before anything, everybody, and just make sure there's no discontinuity like that one right there in front of our face. Take that one away. And we will keep that one in here, and we'll vector ourselves in, like I usually like to do here at LAX. As you can see, we'll take the I don't really want to turn onto a 15-mile final. I'd rather turn onto like a, and you know, that's probably because we forgot something in our flight plan here. Particularly in our arrival, we do not have the proper transition set for the star. So if we select a circus, and let me just reference the chart real quick. I have to look at this for this information. Let me just reference our arrival chart. Let's see what we're looking at. Get a quick glimpse at the ALS as well. Yeah, so that has us going booby. We don't want booby. We want finesse. Stevie, is that an option? I don't even see that on the chart. But we'll take finesse, because we'll be at 6,000 feet at finesse. We'll enter that in. That reset everything for us, so we have to look through everything one more time. Cebu to finesse. Oh, there we go. Now I feel comfortable deleting this discontinuity. You know what? Nope, I need to delete this manual out of here. We'll just leave that the way it is, and we'll just turn on our own. So the flight plan is looking excellent. We will go ahead and turn this back over to Matt. We've got one with a bleed issue, waiting on parts at the moment. Ah, I see. Meaning it's not pushing air into the airplane, or a bleed issue meaning like fuel, or something along those lines. Keep us posted. What were we doing? Yes, flight plan is all set and ready to go. We can finally head over back to our FMC and get our information entered in here for our V1, VR, and V2. We're going 155 for V1, 163 for VR, and 163 for V2. So 155 on the V1, 163 on the VR, and V2 is 163, which is set via the MCP. So we'll go ahead and get that entered. Using the scroll wheel. Wow, there it goes. Good God, it was taking forever there for a moment. 163, cool, we have that entered in. And that's pretty much everything we need to do here, except I will enter in the acceleration altitude of 3,000, just so we get up and out of the area. That's just something I like doing. Flap retract speed is 149. No thanks. Left engine bleed pressure is low. Ah, I see. Let there be a problem. We don't gotta worry about this until arrival. That pretty much takes care of everything for the flight plan and everything, folks. We'll get ourselves in prog mode. Let's go ahead and get our little standby instrument ready to go. There we go, excellent. We'll get our constraints on as well. I always like to set that beforehand. Never want to forget that. We need to set our altimeters. We can come over here and grab that information. Refresh the METAR just to make sure. Still have the same slight winds here in San Francisco. Altimeter 30 decimal. What is that? 28. 30.28. Man. .28. We'll get the standby up there as well. God, it's so slow. Okay, excellent. We're not going to worry about the first officer because he doesn't need it. There is no first officer. Alright, looking good as far as that goes for preliminary checks. I guess we can go ahead and get the transponder turned on now as well. Nothing else really I can think of. I'm not forgetting anything but setting our altimeter. That's what we're forgetting. We'll just set it right to 310 because we're just going to climb on out. No ATC, don't matter. We can get our runway heading entered in as well. The runway 1 left. Imagine it's got to be something along the lines of 1-2 degrees. 1-4. Darn. What a shame. 1-4 degrees there. Okay. Everything is looking nice. Flex 2 is set. We are pretty much ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be getting on out of here. We'll go to GSX. We will prepare for pushback and departure. Get our probe heats on. Get the rest of our fuel pumps turned on. Get our beacon lights on. Seatbelt sign comes on now as well. Ground cooling, override on. Not sure if that's procedure to put that on, but I always throw it on. Ready for pushback, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a look at our views. We have forward of engine number 1, rearward, behind. Coming over to the other side, we have engine number 2, just behind as well. Looking nice. Of course, switching between views is still stuttery, but it's to be expected. But once you're actually up front and settled, like the fact that I'm pushing 40 frames right now with the graphics turned up as high as they are is pretty cool. Streaming, I know, definitely has a effect on the frames, and it does bring it down a little bit, but rocking 40 FPS right now is nice. Very, very nice. let's reference our taxi chart here and see what we have to do to buzz on out of San Francisco. They're going to ask us what direction we want to go out. And I think, honestly, we may tell them straight. Manual stop, max 100 meters. I don't really know. You know what? We will just ask them to push us to the right, and we'll just manually terminate the pushback if it's too much. Before we release the parking brakes, lady, we're going to come up here and get our ignition over to crank. Now we are ready to push. Found the high stage valve only partially opening. I see. Imagine it's like any valve that has a hard time opening and closing, kind of something similar to like a coolant valve in an engine, I imagine. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn 2, ladies and gentlemen. Come on down here, we notice and observe N2 rotation. You can hear the engines winding to life. I'll go ahead and turn this up just so you guys can hear. Once N2 reaches 20%, we will initiate fuel flow and she'll start turning. There's 20. Fuel flow. And there she goes. Easy fix. We had the part. Ugh. Oh, fuel truck. Good God. The nerve of that guy. Alright. Engine 2 is alive and stable. We'll go ahead and crank number 1. Notice N2 is rising. N1 is coming alive as well. Oil pressure starting to increase. Set parking brakes for the lady.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can
No, we don't yet. Oh well, there's 20% entering fuel flow. And engine number 1 is going to roar alive. Gorgeous early afternoon here, well, late afternoon here in San Francisco, currently 2:10 p.m. local time. It is 5:10 local time for me. It is pitch dark outside. It's one thing about winter that I never enjoy. Engine number 1 has been successfully started. You can come back up over top, turn the ignition off. We no longer need the APU, so we'll turn off the APU master start switch. Lovely. We'll get our taxi lights on as well. Everything is looking smooth. We don't have any warnings here. Everything is looking good. This is on map. Altimeters are set. This was a terrible pushback, everybody. That's where we were, and this is where we ended up, but we will take it. They tried. If they only could have put our nose a little bit better. I saw this, the latest update of the A300. Yep, yes it is. I downloaded it about an hour before stream. So, one thing I did notice is the APU bleed sound comes in a lot harsher. Very loud. Alright, now that we are all set, we have gotten the send-off from our lovely friend down there. He's walking away. We can release the parking brake. Sure, the A300 is really going to start rolling as soon as we release the brakes. Off they come. And there we go and ching along. So, may as well start that left-hand turn out of here immediately. Give her a little juice. 30% and 1. Back down to idle. That's all she needs. Just a little encouragement. I'll tell you, she turns awful on the ground. We're not getting a lot of rudder control here at all. Speed brakes extended. That's interesting. We are not turning worth anything right here, man. What's up with that? I have my rudders fully... Oof. Oh, there it goes. What in tarnation is happening here with the rudder control? What the why is it stuck? Look at that. What in the flopnog? What the? Alright. Well, you know. Something's clearly wrong here. So, I'm not sure what the deal is, but our rudders are not moving freely at all. See what's going on here with that? What's up with that? Maybe there's something in the settings. Because I think... No, we don't want that. We want these settings. Rudder controls on tiller. Rudder controls tiller, yes. Let's reset them. Let's see what happens. Oh, lordy. Why? It's just very interesting that we don't have control of our rudders. It's something we did. No, everything seems normal to me. Is there a rudder disconnect switch that I have to hit? If so, this is the first time this has ever happened. I don't believe there is one of those switches. With steering here, which means something's going on with our pedals. Let's try unplugging them and plugging them back in, folks. In and out. There we go. Alright. Not sure what the deal was there, but fixed it. Alright. We are golden gooses, folks. Let's get a look at where the heck that ends up spinning us all around. Ridiculousness, man. Let me tell you. Release our parking brake here. Let's get back to business. Always something, I tell you. The only downside, in my opinion, about this mod that we're using there, the frame gen mod, the one thing I do say I don't like about it is that you have to have DX12 on, and whenever I use DX12, it just always, the ground textures to me just always seem to flicker. And it drives me absolutely bananas. And this isn't because I enabled that mod. Let's hope that issue with our pedals was the only problem we're going to have today. Man, this airplane likes to taxi quick. I wonder if that was a real attribute of the A300. Because, man, we're idling. We are soaring at 20 knots. Slow her down a little bit before we get given a phone number. You don't want a phone number to call. Remember, if you haven't done so, please hit the like button on this stream. I would really, really appreciate that. Now that we are getting back into the swing of things and you can expect to see more streams from me, you'd be greatly appreciated if you did. Click that like button. And subscribe if you are new. If you're checking out the stream for the first time, welcome. This left-hand turn. There is our departure runway. We will take position and hold, as we never fly with ATC or traffic on, so this is our choice. All right, there we go. All lined up. We'll set our parking brake. A couple of things we need to do here to prepare for departure. We need to come up over top and get our strobe lights into auto, get our nose lights into takeoff, get our landing lights on, and we are pretty much good to go. We don't have any warnings or any faults, correct? No, we do not, and we are groovy and good to go. Alright, enjoy the departure in the lovely iniBuilds Airbus A300 en route to KLAX by way of San Francisco. Let's go, everyone. Using our parking brake, we're going to get our engines up to about 40% N1. There they go, and then hitting Toga. Oh, we don't have our flaps down, huh? Now we do. Ooh, that sound is so much better. Ooh, yeah, they really updated the sound. Ooh, a little bumpy, a little stutter there. V1 rotates. Positive rate. Gears coming up. Make an immediate left-hand turn. Lower that nose there. Lower that nose. Straighten her out now. Nice takeoff. Thank you, farmer. Oh boy, we're climbing now. Alright, no more hand flying the airplane before we get ourselves into a situation because we've already turned off course. Now this thing's going to do something funky when we put nav on. But nav, profile, let's get close to what the flight director wants, and autopilots. Alright, we have reached acceleration altitude. Now that we have gotten there, not sure quite of the flap sketch we get of the airplane. We'll go ahead and put the flaps up. Simulator volume down just a little bit. There we go. How was that? That sound good for everybody? But boy, the simulator does look lovely. Now that I'm able to put the sliders all the way up and put it into 4K, this looks bananas. Whoa. The frame gen mod. Again, we're pushing 40, 41, 42, 43 frames on our way out of San Francisco. She looks lovely, and the frame rate is incredible for how good this looks. When you switch views, it stutters, and I can live with that if it means that it looks this good. And, you know, if you don't rock all over the place with your camera, it might flicker a little bit, but even then, it's, you know. Alright, there goes 10,000 feet. We'll start globbering all over the mod a little bit there, get our landing lights off. Quick flight, everybody. We don't have a time to go, though. I wonder why. Why isn't our time to go showing? I wonder what the problem is. Doesn't seem to be grabbing that information from the sim, but that's okay. No big deal. We have 349 nautical miles to go. It's counting down our nautical miles away from the screen, away from our flight data display, but I guess we don't need it. Oops. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to... You know, I have a tendency to just leave you guys up there on accident, but we'll go ahead and we'll go live, no camera for a moment, just to, oops, get the restroom break out of there. And just really take in this scenery as we make a left-hand turn off the nose of the airplane. .47 frames right now, we're rocking. 50. We're about to surpass 15,000 feet already on our climb up to 310 on our way to LAX. I just really want to know why it is not giving us our information. Oh well, hey look, I have the donation leaders and stuff on this. I'm going to turn those off just because we haven't had a dono in quite some time. So I don't want to put that up there until maybe we get a couple, because I don't want it to seem like that's what it's about, because it's not. There we go, we can get that off. That way, live no camera now looks good. Blank live, this is what you get. I like this one a lot. So if we really wanted to have a look, groovy, folks. Now that we are about to pass altitude here, transition altitude, we'll get the sim volume up a little bit more for everybody. Let me know if you'd like it louder or not. But 18,000 feet has surpassed. We can now take our shortcut and press B and go into standard altitude. Flight is performing nicely, 330 nautical miles to go. We can zoom out our ND now quite far. We'll go ahead and get the regular camera back on there for everybody. There we go. So what's everybody got going on this weekend? Any fun plans? Anything going on? Anybody doing anything fun? We're getting a snowstorm here on Sunday, so dear old dad, down your way, down there, you're going to be getting the storm that we're getting, but it's all going to be rain your way. God, I just cannot get over this frame gen mod. How nicely it works, and it's nice down here today. Yeah, I was just talking to my mother earlier, and she was telling me that it's gonna be rainy. Changes are coming? Oh, yeah. How does everybody think the volume sounds? Do I sound loud enough? Is the stream too loud? Like, is the airplane too loud? Is the music too loud? Let me know, guys. I had to kind of reconfigure all my audio settings now that I've started streaming again, so I kind of had to retweak everything, so let me know. We're gonna try something here, and we are going to reset our FlyLive flight. And let's see if we get a time to go. We did not. And also our knots isn't working either. No updates found. Maybe we will try restarting it. There we go. Let's see if we can get our flight plan going. Hey, what do you know? Fix the problem. What do you know? Remember, folks, hit that like button for me. If you wouldn't mind, we'd really appreciate it. Cursor mode and toolbar panel. Get out of here. I can, for the life of me, not figure out how to get that message from appearing constantly throughout my flights. I don't know what the dealio is, but you know, that's what it is. I have to have that on, those tooltips on, in order for the landing rate to show. We are just surpassing 27,000 feet here on our way up to flight level 310. Only a few thousand feet left to go until we reach cruise. Now, we are not going to be cruising for long. Oh no. No. 292 nautical miles to go in 31 minutes. It's actually quite fantastic that PanAm flew the A300 for a short while on a route like this. Just such a quick route. Just imagine being able to experience that today, getting on a wide body for such a short domestic flight. That would be very fun. But unfortunately, we live in a different reality now. New valve has arrived, gotta get back to wrenching. Alright, DOD, you do your thing. Thank you for keeping the airplanes safe for us. What do you say we look outside? Turn everything down here. Oh yeah. She is looking rather spectacular. Let's get a view from over here. You can get the terrain in the background. We'll go blank live again so everybody can see. Alright, good stuff, folks. 74 frames per second out here. That's fantastic. Like, the fact that that mod is able to do that is just absolutely insane. Getting back inside the airplane, we are capping out at about 56. 56. Now, we're at cruising altitude, so, you know, it's going to be a lot smoother up here. Obviously. But yeah, it's just so cool that we can get this little boost and somehow, I don't know how it works, I don't know what it does, it has something to do with the processor or something, but it is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. And highly suggested for anybody on PC. Sorry, I'm just testing the audio real quick on my phone to see exactly what the variables are. Give me a sec. Okay, happy with the levels. Folks, I'm gonna go grab a beverage. I will be right back. Everybody, do not go anywhere. It'll literally take me like 30 seconds. Alright. Feels good to be streaming again, man. Feels good to be flying more and having fun with it. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Alright. We are at cruising altitude. We have to be getting close to being ready to descend here. 235 nautical miles to go. We can already see our descent point right here, but there's a problem. You see, it's too late. Now, and I've also noticed that the gauge is flickering up here now. That might be because of the frame gen mod. It might not. I'm not sure, but I can live with it, I guess. It doesn't really bother me that much. I'm not sure if it's something I'm doing wrong or what, but our top of descent, if we look here, let's get nice and close so the class can see. If we look here, it wants us to be below 290 and above 260 right here. And I believe that's a speed restraint as well. I think that's 280. That's all well and dandy. I'm fine with that. If that's the case, we can't start our descent here. We have to start it, like, here. Do it. You know, like, I don't know if like, what my deal is, but every flight I've had with the A300, I've had this issue, so. Unless that, you know, this is just more of a guideline back in when this airplane was developed and not so much what you go by. I mean, I really don't know. Strange. Can't see if we are able to butter the spread on our arrival into San Francisco, into Los Angeles. Like I said, I got a 167 when I practiced cargo ops a few days ago. So, let's see. Let's see. Why is our music so quiet, man? What the bleep? Let me go to my audio settings. You know what I think it is? I'm pretty sure I went in to the sound settings and I went to the volume mixer, and Chrome is all the way down. There we go. May have been our problem the whole time. We are technological geniuses, folks. Making a nice right-hand turn. We'll be ready to start our descent shortly. We do have to check our charts quickly, though, because two bits. See, according to the chart here, we don't have to be at 290 until Crowy. Not do it. So that either means the nav data... Ooh, sorry, folks. That that either means that the nav data is wrong, because this is... Oh, wait, that is Crowy. Is that Crowy? Yeah, it is Crowy. Eh, never mind. We gotta start descending at Do It. I'm all over the place tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. I'm making a big conniption over nothing. But we will start descending here, though, at Do It, which is in about 36, 37 nautical miles. We are about 188 nautical miles away, so it'll be a slow, gradual descent for us. We have a speed restriction of 280 knots, which is fine because we aren't really cooking too much farther above that. Yeah. But yes, again, hoping everybody's having a lovely and happy Friday. Man, I don't even know what day it is. But yes, I am quickly falling in love with this airplane. I absolutely love it. Flies like a champ. Does everything that it's supposed to do. Captures localizer perfectly fine. Flies perfectly fine. It's a little bit difficult, not going to lie. It's a little bit difficult to slow it down. But as long as you are maintaining your vertical speed and all that properly, you should have no problem. Quiet Friday evening here. Just getting some more flight time in. Oh, we have a kitty behind us. Hey, boy. I didn't even realize he was back there. Well, we have passengers, folks. Gotta be extra careful now. Big old turn. I say big old turn and we barely turn. We should have started descending already. Wasn't paying attention, Michael. We will manage our own descent. We'll take 280. Descent has begun, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy with that. We are descending perfectly on time as well to make this altitude restriction that we have here 29,000 feet, and then eventually 280 knots. Once we come over here to Muppet, we will have that constraint as well, and then we'll have to be at 27,000 as we continue along. Descending into LA with about, let's see here, 136 nautical miles to go. About 11 minutes. But that time will slowly increase as we get closer. What do you mean beep beep beep? What's the matter? I know what the problem is. It's my janky way of handling our autopilot. Hit our descent, that's what it is. It's because I keep on forgetting to decrease the altitude knob when I need to for our descents. What is this music? I'm all for like the K-poppy sounding stuff, but that's what every song's been. That's better. Everything's still looking absolutely stunning in 4K. Yadelar, how you doing? Welcome. I'm doing fine. Yourself? Just enjoying our descent into Los Angeles in our Pan American A300. Couldn't ask for anything better. I will try to stay awake for the first landing. It's midnight here in Sweden. Yeah, you pulling a late one for me. Always appreciative, though. He's always here for our streams. just about to pass below 21,000 feet. Speaking of which, we need to start looking at our METAR data for our arrival. And we can do that directly via the EFB here. I'm currently doing a break from studying in the ATPL field, doing MNB by the way, also midnight here in Luxembourg. Cargo looks like. Alright. Wow, yeah, that's sounds complex, and oof, I just got done as well testing for and studying for 2 licenses that I need for work, and I passed both my exams on the first go. Whew. So I'm right there with you, friend. Anyways, let's get a look at our METAR. Let's update that here. LAX, we have winds 270 at 11 knots, so not too terrible. We should have no problem. Visibility is fine. Clear, which is lovely. Altitude 3010. So that's cool. Absolutely clear. No remarks. Doesn't seem anything too crazy, so we should be good. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I hope whatever you're studying for, if there is an exam for it in the future, I hope that you ace it as well. Just about to come below 18,000 feet here. We are a little fast, so let's deploy our speed brake. And see, that's one thing I've always thought about this airplane, is I've always found it difficult to control the speed. So we'll open up the speed brake a little bit. Ooh, what the heck's going on with our view here? Why are we so zoomed in? There we go. It's weird. Thanks, farmer. Appreciate it. But now that we're below 18,000 feet, we now need to set our altimeter. We'll just go ahead and set that to our arrival altimeter of 3010. I know normally you would get this information from ATC, but, you know. Get our speed down to 240. Always forget about the auto throttle, man, every time. But oh boy, the simulator just looks fantastic. And for the frames that we're getting, I can't really complain, man. This is eye candy, as you can ever imagine. Speed is getting on down to 240, which is what we need to make here, as well as be at 9,000, so let's hope we make it. Luckily we have plenty of room here to slow the airplane down even more before we turn to final. That's one thing I like about this approach, is we let this descent get a little bit away from us. We're not quite going to make it, but that's okay. Now luckily, we can stay at 9,000 in between base and juice. Use that time to slow the airplane down to 210 knots even more. I mean, believe it or not, we could even just slow down to 210 right now. If we want to get ahead of ourselves, there's no harm in that, so we'll extend the speed brakes once more. in an attempt to slow the airplane down to 210 knots. That will greatly help us out with just getting our speed under control right away. Am I flying in real life? No. Almost looks like it though. Alright folks, it is time to get the music off. We no longer need that. We need to start focusing on making sure we are paying attention. For our arrival, we'll go ahead and get the volume turned up just a little bit more for everybody. Hoping that it is not too loud and you guys can hear me okay. But there we go, already drifting down to 220 knots, so we are nice and slow. Surpassing below, we're going below 10,000 feet. Means we gotta get our landing lights on here. There is LA. We are starting to see part of the city rendering right now down there. It's good, oh yeah. Alright, now here we are leveling off at 9,000 feet. Just in the nick of time. Good thing you slowed down to 210. That kind of helped us out a little bit. So now that we are at 210 knots, because we're flying a little slow, I'm actually going to bring down the slats. I don't think that we will endanger ourselves in any way by bringing down the slats right now. Now that we are getting closer and closer to our arrival destination. Arrival destination, that means the same thing. We can go ahead and get our ILS all dialed in here. Looking like the frequency on the localizer is 111.7. And the course is 251. Speed brake still extended? Nope. They are not. 251. Man, it's so slow. I hate clicking, like holding the, clicking down, because I always way overshoot it. Anyways, that's all set and ready to go. We need to come over here to our MCDU, go to our takeoff and approach page. We need to put our max decision height here, which is 323 feet. We'll enter that in, excellent. And then we also need to come up here, get our decision height in, and enter in the same value of 323 feet, but we will set it to 320, as this only goes up in fives. 320, that's good, and ready to go. 210 knots steady, looking nice at 9,000. We need to descend down to 6,000. We were actually supposed to already be starting our descent down to 8,000, but we kind of mixed that up a little bit, so we will just aim for 6. There's the city, directly in front of us, looking nice coming into view. Wow. 41 frames per second steady as we are flying into a densely populated area such as LAX and Los Angeles. And for the settings that we have on, it's actually quite fantastic, and we'll get a very nice shot here flying over LA very shortly. Apparently a 4.2 earthquake hit LA today. Really? It's funny, I live in the country that it happened in, and I haven't heard anything about it. It's kind of sad in a way if you think about it. But yeah, let's go right up here, and I'll turn the camera on to blank live for you all, and we can all appreciate the scenery below us as we fly right over Los Angeles as we seek 6,000 feet. Still at 210 knots, looking great. Finesse is our our transition. I get all my news from YouTube, but to get more info, I need to start another video. Yeah. I get my news from the local news and, like, you know, the Today Show, which are shows in our area here in the U.S. Not always the most credible, and, you know, sometimes they're biased, but it is what it is, right? There's L.A. looking very nice. Look how nice that's coming through. Looking absolutely stunning as always. I don't know why, but this stupid chat bar thing is in my chat. Not, it's a little heart on the streaming software, and I can't see your guys' replies or messages because the little thing is blocking it, and it drives me absolutely nuts. Local are so slow nowadays, oh yeah? So many care. I've blown up so many cars I've blown up on those streets in GTA. Same. And so many unwarranted and ruthless acts I've committed, such as selling contraband and other things. Oh, yeah. You know, I was just thinking about GTA the other day, and I was like, yeah, you know, I kind of get the thirst to want to play every now and again, but I get in, I have fun for a few minutes, and then it's just kind of like, alright, I've checked out my cars again, I've driven them, blown up some people in multiplayer, stolen someone's heist, or stopped someone's, not heist, stopped someone's delivery or something like that, and then I get bored with it rather quickly. GTA 6, on the other hand, I could definitely get into once that comes out. Alright, now that we are about to turn on to final, we are going to slow, well, long final. We're going to slow the airplane down even more to our slat speed, which is going to be 185. And we'll take this time to do that, because like I said, this airplane tends to cook. It's hard to play knowing that GTA 6 is close, and I only play with my girlfriend, not fun alone. Yeah, it's not, and that's something you need, you know, you just need a group of people to do a proper heist and make a lot of money. You know, that's kind of what I got bored with, was doing the same heists over and over. Weird, but we're back. It says that the stream is online. Please, God, let it be. There we go, we seem to be online again. Oof. Don't play with me like that, internet. We are back. Alright. I was gonna say, just in time for arrival, really. We don't need that going on right now. LA skyline can take on the system. I mean, maybe, but... Making our right-hand turn now to intercept the ILS. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Alright. We are at a perfect heading to intercept the ILS. It'll be a nice sharp turn to intercept, but... Well, no, I guess we can kind of turn a little bit more, so it's not as sharp of a turnover once we do a line. But now that we've done that, we can go ahead and get ILS mode on, and we can turn landing mode on. "6 minutes, folks, until we will be wheels on the ground. We have a message. However, from C, discontinuity ahead." Yep, there is. That was quite a while ago. There we go. We have been established on the localizer. Airplane is turning now. Alright, let's have a look. We are perfectly on course with the runway. We are perfectly going great on descent. Airplane is descending on its own towards the runway. Imagine a world where photogrammetry works as smooth as FSX, no lag or freezes, only flying in and out. Not sure what you mean. Alright, we will slow the airplane down to 170 knots. It's going to require putting down flaps to 15. Alright, groovy. We have sight with the runway. It's right in front of us. The data that makes buildings into 3D, it always takes my simulator to make it into a PowerPoint. Ah, gotcha. Now I see what you mean. Hey, depending on the graphics card that you have, you could easily have success as well with the frame gen mod, so you should take a look into it. For sure. Can't forget the replay tool. That is up and ready to go in the background. "10-mile final." You guys want to get some guesses on the landing rate? Be my guest. Minus 190. Leave a link on Discord for the FPS booster? I will indeed. Flaps coming down to 25. Doing great on the descent rate. Doing great heading towards the runway. Speed is looking very, very good. We'll drop the gear at 5 miles. Just coming right up now. Gear down. Gear down and flaps full. Alright, folks. Our approach speed is looking like it's going to be 128. Alright. It's so weird not see a melting city. That happens sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, I know. Alright, we are ready to go. Auto brakes coming on to medium. Oh, our God, our frickin' speed brake, our spoilers were up. Alright, at 1,000 feet, we'll take over control of everything here, ladies and gentlemen. Replay tool is recording. Let's see if we can get this butter, everyone. Wish us luck. Oh yeah, we will get the sound up nice and loud as well. There goes 1,000 feet. That means we will take over control of the airplane. It is our airplane. Go ahead and take over control of the auto throttle also. Take those all day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Los Angeles. What a fantastic arrival. Why are we moving so slow? All right. Very happy with that result, ladies and gentlemen. Closest. Yes, you were, indeed. Alright, let's figure out where in the bleep we are going here at LAX. Flaps can come all the way forward, speed brakes. Get those extended landing lights coming off. Strobes off also, AV master. Come on, I have no idea where I'm going here, ladies and folks. There's the terminal right there. Make a sharp turn here. Don't get the tires off the rims, but we're probably going to. That's okay. Whew. Alright, APU. We will fire her up as well. Little stutter right there, but still 31 frames, 33 here at LAX. The settings that we have on is impressive. What were you? Minus 167? Is that what we got? For a big heavy bird like this? have no idea where to go park. Absolutely no idea. I see a 787 right there. So I'm assuming that those are gates meant for heavies. So we will make our way that way. APU has come alive. That's what that was, giving us a hack fault, which was interesting, but no need to be alarmed. We are A-OK. I think that that spot right next to the American, what is that, a 777? I can't even tell. I think that looks like where we're going to go, folks. Hardest with flying a dead airline is it's hard to know where to park. Yeah, I know. And I just turned on the static aircraft back on now that we have the frame mod installed. But it looks like we'll have enough room next to that 777 that I hope we will at least. Soon we will have the PMDG 777. Oh yeah. You know, I was watching Captain Canada last night, and he had said that he thinks, possibly now, this is just what he thinks, he's just speculating. He thinks that the PMDG 777 could be a lot closer than we think. Alright everybody, as we slowly creep on up to our parking spot here. Give her a little juice, crawling at 2 knots. Give her a little bump up here to get up to like 3, 4. And we'll park this big baddie of an airplane and watch that replay, because that was, by God, beautiful. We don't have a marshaller, but that's fine. Here should do. Set our parking brake. We'll get our flaps already extended to where they need to be. And we'll get our strobes back on so we can see those. We'll get our landing lights back on as well. Alright, time for the replay, everybody. Let's hope that the replay doesn't break anything. Fingers crossed. Yeah, it was on the PMDG shop the week before Christmas, but disappeared. Huh. Those devils. Alright, hit the play button on the replay, friends. Here we go. We're okay. We look like we are okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set it to blank live. Enjoy the replays, folks. That was a good one, folks. That was a good one. Not trying to toot my own horn, but toot toot. We'll back it up. We will get another angle here. Another great angle there. We will go ahead and get another shot as well from the exterior of the airplane. Let me just turn down the volume there so we don't go deaf. Back up the replay tool. And we'll go outside. Alright, and we'll get one more view of the replay, folks, from the nose, and then we're going to go to break. You can see LA in the background there. And then we're going to go to break, everybody. So enjoy this last view here, and then you'll see the Be Right Back sign thrown up. Catch you all in probably about 10 minutes or so. Alright folks, we are back. Good God, let's turn that down just a tad. Alright, we are back inside the sim now. Everything is reloaded. We have our A300 back at the gate. We are sharing a gate while we're next to a Japan Airlines 777, so that's cool. Got a couple of Atlas and DHL aircraft over there as well. The APU was running. We are currently in turnaround mode, so not as much to do inside the cockpit to get everything ready to go. Heading back to San Francisco, everybody. Let's get right to it, and let's go inside the airplane here. Beep. Left forward cabin not closed. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the warning. I'm aware. We can go ahead and clear that status message out of there. We don't need to worry about that. What we do need to worry about is heading on down here to our FMC. We see we have that Align IRS message again. We can get rid of that, and we can start entering in the information that we need to head back to San Francisco. So we'll go Kilo, Sierra, Foxtrot, Oscar, / wait, no, I lied. Kilo, Lima, Alpha, X-Ray, / Kilo, Sierra, Foxtrot, Oscar. Enter that in. There we go. Hit return. Now we should have our longitude and latitude, which we do, and we will align the IRS. Lovely. Now that that has started, we will get our alternate. And our alternate is going to be SMF. What on earth is that? Let me check. I have no idea. Anybody know what KSMF is? Let's see. KSMF. Sacramento. Okay. So that is our alternate, just in case we can't make it back into San Francisco, but I really don't think that will have a problem. Cost index of 40. Cruising altitude this time around of 340, so we are going up a little bit higher. Our flight number is Pan American Airways 415. We went ahead and took that flight number that Burner gave us earlier to make it at least a little bit more realistic to the actual flight number used. And our average cruise wind is 306 at 78 knots. Okay, now that we have all of that entered in, we got to go next and head to our init page. We'll go back to our iPad over here because we already have the weights and balances all synced up. I already did that before I started up again. So we're going to start with our zero fuel weight, which is 248.24. We'll enter in our block fuel next, which is going to be 25.0 on the nose. There we go, looking good. We'll get our zero fuel weight center of gravity, 28.14. Excellent, so that's entered in, and now is all taken care of. The next thing we need to do is get our flight plan set up and ready to go. So out of LAX, we will select our SID, and it looks like the SID that we are using for runway 24 left, we are departing, and we are taking the Summer 2. Summer 2, there it is, and we are using the stocked transition. There's stocked, we'll insert that, beautiful. From stocked, we are heading to Surfer, and that's actually our transition for our arrival back into San Francisco. How funny. We don't even have another waypoint to enter in. So we can come over here to San Francisco. We'll get our star. We are landing on runway 28 left using the Surfer 4. There it is, Surfer 4. Transition, none. Okay, that's fine. And actually, let's wait. Just make sure it's not over here, and it's not. Okay, so we'll select Archie there. We'll insert, and we'll take a look here. Surfer could already be in there, may not have. Yep, it is. It's just part of it. Okay, I'm fine with that. So we'll come over here to flight plan. Our IRS is not aligned yet, actually, so we can't do anything with that. And we have about 2 minutes until it's done being aligned. While that's being done, I actually have my dinner here with me. I'm going to go live no camera, and or blank live, just like this. You guys can still hear me, but I'm just going to eat some food. Oops, microphone was muted, haha. Now that the aiders have aligned, we can cycle through our flight plan here. Just make sure that there's nothing strange going on with it. Of course, we are going to have a discontinuity right there at stocked. But we'll take that right into Surfer. So clear that discontinuity right into Surfer. Very, very easy and basic. Well, that's interesting. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to ignore that. I'm not sure what the deal with Archie is right there. But I'll go direct to Ponky. Or even Nitor. But I won't do that, excuse me, that Archie thing. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Where is it? Archie. Yeah, we don't need you, Archie. Sorry, buddy. But you are getting deleted. And just like that, it's gone. But even then, we'll take out Ponky as well. Just so we can have the easiest time here getting onto our approach. There we go. Looking groovy. I am happy with that, ladies and germs. So we can bring this back over to a map now. Everything is set to go with our flight plan. We can come over to our takeoff and approach page. Time to calculate the performance of the airplane. Oops. Performance, sync, runway 6 left. That is not what we are departing. We are departing runway 24. Go, surface is dry, everything is looking good. We will calculate. That's going to give us our speeds right there. So 154 and 163. 163. And of course we will set, oops, we never got our trims on. We got to get those on. There we go. Now we can set 163 here on our speed. Excellent. And now we will set our altitude of 34,000 feet. Not going to be cruising for very, very long, that's for sure. Our runway heading on runway 25 or 24 left is 251. Perfect. Look at that. Nothing else we need to do there. Excuse me. Alright, I am very happy with that. We need to set our altimeter, which I'm pretty sure the altimeter was 3010. So the altimeters are set on both the primary and the backup. Wonderful. TCAS is in standby. We'll go ahead and disengage that out of standby just to get rid of that message. Our Flex 2 temp, I believe it told us was 63, which always seems to be the usual Flex 2 temp here. Flex to 63, looking nice as well there. Okay, I think we are pretty much ready to go. Let's just take a peruse around the overhead panel and just take a look at everything going on here. Get our P2Us and electronic hydraulic pumps on. Everything is looking nice. I don't think that we have anything else to do. Alright, because of that, let's get a look and see actually what direction we need to push back. That's going to be out and to the right. So we'll come over here to GSX, and we will prepare for pushback and departure. And this is not going to have a PanAm option, so I guess we can just use Aircraft Service International Group. And we are starting the pushback process. Hold on, let me just eat some food. I'm muted again. Damn. Minus 139 on the landing rate. Landing in LAX is just crazy.
Release parking brakes, please.
Release the parking brakes. We're going to look down here. We are going to release those. They're going to start pushing us back, and we will start our engines. So you hear that start at will. We'll go engine number 2 first. Go ahead and get the start valve open. There we go. You can see it coming to life. Come down here. N2 is rising. We can hear the engine start to spool up as well. I will get the volume up for everybody. 20% N2. We will engage fuel flow and we'll go over to the engine side. Not much to hear in regards to the sounds right here on this airplane, unfortunately. I have noticed. While you do get a good amount of... Oh, that's because the engine hasn't started. Fuel pumps are on. Everything seems to be normal. But we aren't getting the engine to start. That's interesting. I wonder what could be causing that. Uh-oh. Oh, that's because we're on crank. Huh. That's why we don't need to be in crank. We need to be in ignition. Alright, there goes number 2 coming to life now. How was the landing, dear old dad? We got a minus 139. So I'd say it was successful. Thank you. It's the smoothest landing I've done so far in the A300 since acquiring it.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, we have a good engine start, at least on engine number 2. We'll go ahead and turn number 1. Same procedure, 20% N2. We will get fuel flow going. We'll pop over to the wing and have a listen. Fuel flow, pop over.
Unlocking gear.
Gonna take a few more bites of food.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright. Sounds like we have a good start of engine numero 1. Let's head back inside the flight deck. A few things that we need to do here. We need to get our ignition off, to get our airflow back to the cabin. We will also turn off our APU. We no longer need that. We will get our taxi lights on as well. And we will come back over to the wing. And we will set flaps to 15 degrees. Flaps are set. We just got the have a good trip from... Oh, we don't have FSRealistic turned on. FSRealistic. I was just gifted beer. Cheers, everybody. All right. We are ready to go. I think it's time to release the parking brakes and let's get this big beastie on her way back to LAX Retro Pan American operations. Releasing the brakes. She's not rolling on her own yet, but give her a little bit of go-go juice and she'll get up moving just fine. There she goes. Yeah, D-Roll Dad, what graphics card do you have? Because this frame gen mod, let me tell you, it's very, it has a couple little flashy bugs right now, but we are, excuse me, we have our graphics cranked right now, in between high and ultra at LAX, running 4K, and we're getting 39 frames, which is just crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. Taxiing around LAX always makes me nervous. Just because it's such a big airport and it's very easy to get lost. I have unfortunately gotten lost here at LAX many times. So we are going to follow straight here and then we are going to cross in front of another terminal just because I'm lazy and don't feel like going all the way around. So we will continue on taxiway Charlie and then turn right onto Lima. But I think that this is this funky taxiway that isn't accurate. It probably is if you have a payware version. 3070? Ah, it will work for you. Yeah, I have a 3070 Ti. man, what this can do is pretty crazy. The only thing about it is you have to have DirectX 12 enabled, and I've just noticed that for me, DirectX 12 kind of makes the game, or the sim, I don't want to say glitch out, but it just kind of makes it, some of the textures will flash a little bit and chop on my screen. It is not my preferred DirectX version. I would much rather be using version 11. That's okay. With that, we have an Emirates A380 right there in front of us. That's really cool. A Hawaiian Airlines A330, it looks like, on the left. And a lot of airplanes over here, folks, to look at. Looks like we have a couple of, it looks like an A320. Over here, American, we have an American 7-3. Very nice. We have a Qatar, looks like a 777, and then maybe even an American. Is that a 7? Yep, 777 right there. And you know, the mod isn't that difficult to install either. It's only about 5 steps. It took me 5 minutes to figure it out. You see, and this is where this kind of gets weird. Because the charts have this as taxiways, and you know what? It's probably because if I was using ATC, I'd probably not be taken this way, but I just don't feel like going all the way around, so that's why we're going this way. Looks like a Qantas 787, 2 of them. 2 787s right next to each other, but no jetways. It's interesting. You know, I'd be more apt to buy more payware scenery, but the only problem I feel with payware scenery is it's an absolute dog on your sim experience. Like, at least for me, even with 32 gigs of RAM, like, the Fly Tampa Las Vegas is just, it runs so terribly. Maybe there's another payware Las Vegas now that runs a lot better, but the Fly Tampa Las Vegas just runs like a turd for me. Maybe with this new frame gen mod, maybe it'll be a little bit better, so maybe I can try reinstalling it, spawning into Vegas and seeing what we get. There was one time, the first time we ever flew into Fly Tampa Vegas on stream, I had no idea it was going to be as bad as it was. Right when we started approaching the runway threshold, we bugged out. I mean, we were down to like 4 frames per second. As Farmer, who's no longer in stream, he went to sleep. He said it was like a PowerPoint slideshow. I would tend to agree. But maybe with the frame gen mod, we might get some luck. Who knows? Making the turn onto the runway very shortly. We are going to take position and hold, as per usual, as we do with wide bodies. You'll never see me do a turn and burn in a wide body. Never. Have I noticed any changes with the updated plane? Yes, I have. The sounds are a lot better. Engine startup sounds still need some work, but the sound on takeoff, in my opinion, is much better. Engines are much louder. I thought they were a little bit too faint. But we're about to take off in a second, dear old dad, so you will get a chance to hear. It all lined up on the runway here on 24 left. Okay, there we go. All lined up on 24 left. Let's get out of here, folks. Get our nose lights into takeoff. Strobes, we will get those on. Oh wow, we never turned on our nav lights. I thought we had those on earlier. Whoops. We'll get our landing lights on now, and we are ready to go. Flaps set to 15 degrees. Alright, let's go, everybody. Simulator volume is nice and cranked. Enjoy the sounds of the A300. V1 rotate. Up we go, positive brake, gear up. Alright, we'll go into climb power now. I think it's safe, nice and early, that we can go into nav and profile. Let's just let her take over already. Say goodbye, Los Angeles. Alright, we can get that lowered down now. Sounds badass, I agree. Sounds a lot better in my opinion. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get the slats up. I mean the flaps up. And we'll get the slats retracted as well. Alright, lovely. Go ahead and get this zoomed out also. That nice departure out of here, nice and easy. We have to be below 12,000 feet over here at dark, so I wonder if the airplane will do that on its own if we have 340 selected here. We'll see if the A310 is as advanced as like a 738 or something like that. But yeah, normally taking off out of LA like that, the simulator would have been like, not stuttery, but I have to turn down the graphics when I go into those areas normally, you know, and not run in 4K. But with that frame gen mod, I'm now able to run in 4K, and all the graphics are on high. Clouds are on ultra, terrain, texture, pre-sampling, whatever is on ultra. Like, the shadows are at ultra quality, like the highest you can get. Texture synthesis or whatever, shadow, whatever. It's tuned up nicely, and we're at 51 frames per second right now on our climb out. Just surpassed 10,000 feet, so we do need to get back into the flight deck, and we can get our landing lights turned off. We no longer need those. Airplane is still performing nicely for us, and it looks like we should be right on track here to not violate our altitude restriction here of 12,000 feet. We will see. We shall see. We have more A300 action coming up tomorrow, folks. Starting at 10 a.m., we will be doing some FedEx cargo operations in between Memphis and New Orleans, and then back again. So keep a lookout for that one in the morning. More A300 action. We're just getting some more practice in with this lovely airplane. It just feels so much better to be flying something different. And, you know, dear old dad, I think you said it the other night, you know, like, it gets boring after a while bouncing between the A320 and then the 7.3 and then the A320 and then the 7.3, you know. Finally, we have something that's, like, darn good. Like, darn good. In the iniBuilds A300. So, not that the A310 wasn't bad or anything, it's just, I don't know, I'd much rather have the A300, you know what I mean? I've been waiting for this airplane for a very long time, and iniBuilds has done a fantastic job. I really think so. It flies like a dream, and the autopilot does everything you need it to and want it to. So yeah. You get burned out? Exactly. Yeah, that's why it's nice having another airplane that we can turn to, you know, and once PMDG, and from what I've heard rumors, now this is just a rumor, that the PMDG 777 could actually be closer than we think. I don't know how true those rumors can be, but I guess we'll see. You know, I heard one particular person say that they think it would be weeks away. Looking forward to the 757. Yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to that one as well. That's what Bluebird is making that. We have a couple of A350s on the way. I know Just Flight's A330, I think, is just around the corner. You know, I want a proper 727. That's my favorite airliner of all time. And, you know, I was kicking around the idea because I thought that FlyJSim had already converted their 727 over to X-Plane 12. But that doesn't seem like that's the case, and I don't know if they're going to be doing that. But we'll see. We'll know once a few of the big streamers get a pre-release. Oh, for sure. And they'll, you know, like, I like what iniBuilds did with the A300. They were teasing us with it for quite a while. You know, they were, they would release teasers that were appropriate, and then they officially announced the A300, and then it released like 4 or 5 days later. But I mean, hey, I would like a pre-release of it, man. Like, why has it got to be the big streamers? If it's someone that flies every single day almost, and somebody, you know, that loves flight simulation and could give you your 2 cents, like, man, maybe I'll reach out to one of them and be like, hey, I'd be more than happy. I know I did that with FlyByWire when it came to the A380. I was like, hey, sign me up. Like, and this was like a year ago when I had heard a rumor that it could possibly be releasing at the end of 2022. Yeah, what that ended up being. Here we are 1 year later, still no FlyByWire A380, which, you know, I've been longing for an A380 for a long time. So the fact that we don't have one yet is kind of getting on my nerves, to be completely honest with you. We go over here to our progress page. We have 268 nautical miles to go. Ground speed 419 knots. We are have a little bit of a headwind, but nothing too strongly, about 3 knots right now. I'm sure as we climb up further in altitude that will change. But now that we are above 18,000 feet, we can go ahead and press B on our keyboard to get ourselves into standard altitude mode. And then maybe we can even go ahead and get some music going, shall we? Let's try to find something new. We've been using the same music for a while now, so let's see if we can't find something that, I want something like lo-fi, something that we can, you know, tap our foot to. It's just hard, you know, it's hard, finding... See, I'm only finding lo-fi hip-hop. Like, why is it only lo-fi hip-hop? Why can't we just have a lo-fi? But I guess it'll have to do. Lo-fi hip-hop. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm going to step away for a moment. We're going to go blank live here. I'm just going to step away for a... Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me come over here. They are sponsored by the developers, so they get an early crack at it. Well, you know, I'd like that too. But I doubt that'll... Well, I can't say I doubt that'll ever happen. It may happen. Who knows? Alright, folks, I'm just going to throw the restroom sign up real quick. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. My sponsor I figure let them guinea pig it out before I spend money on it. Yeah, that's true. That way, we don't have to be the ones to go through the headaches, I suppose. We're getting 65 FPS right now. Like, this is smooth as butter. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Being able to tune up those graphics a little bit, you know. You still get stutters when you switch views like this. It'll stutter a little bit, but I kind of feel like that's going to happen regardless, just because of how much has to load. 216 nautical miles to go. We'll be starting our descent almost just as quickly as we reach our cruising altitude. Let's see if it's giving us a descent right here. I mean, yeah, look at that. It's telling us to start descending right here at Surfer, which is our transition. So we'd have about 80 miles, 90 miles to go from 34,000 feet to 5,000 to intercept the ILS. That just... I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but as of late, well, in this particular airplane, top of descent reference has been kind of off. See that this is not one of moods. There we go, like moods. We have like chill. There's chill. Chill artist inspired. Ooh, my vape. My vape needs juice. Lo-fi house. No, it's gonna be too quick. Just about to reach our cruising altitude of 34,000 feet. But just as quickly as we reached our cruising altitude, we're going to be coming right back down. Because we are only 193 miles away from our destination, so we're going to start descending here at Stockton. So, unfortunately... not cruising for too long, only about 40 nautical miles or so. But there we go, 34,000 feet has been attained. So now that we've reached our cruising altitude, we can go ahead and set our power to cruise. And we are cruising at Mach 7.9. 458 knots on the ground speed. Alright, we'll be descending in 32 nautical miles. Should be a nice descent. It should be a nice arrival into San Francisco. Let's hope we get the A300 on the ground just as smoothly as we got her on the ground in LAX. With that lovely minus 139 on the touchdown, which is perfect. Can't ask for anything better than that. We are back after we get my vape juice, as sad of an excuse as that is. "13 nautical miles to go until descent." California coastline looking lovely. Alright, it is time to start descending, ladies and gentlemen, so we will go ahead and get 200 dialed in. Request control of the vertical speed. And they want 280 over here, so that's actually faster than what we are currently going. So we will just keep going along with it here. We have 143 nautical miles to go until we reach our destination, so we are pretty much right on the money. as far as our descent point goes. Keep managing our descent here. We are doing lovely, projected to make flight level 200 right when we are supposed to, descending at about 1,700 feet per minute. Oddly enough, it wants us at 280 knots, so we will command what it wants, and we will go up to 280. Go faster? No problem. We'll more than happily do that. Descent is still going very well. A beautiful scenery over here with California. Like I said before, it's just so crazy to me that PanAm actually flew the A300s on routes like this. And it makes sense in the times before ETOPS, you know, before airplanes with 2 engines only were allowed to fly over the ocean. Very, very congested domestic routes is really where the A300 excelled, apparently, from most of the research that I've done. And there's plenty of them still in service today with DHL and FedEx. Still plenty of opportunity to see an A300 if somebody really wanted to. Now, having a chance to fly on one, that's probably slim to nothing. I'm pretty sure you have to go over to Africa and that side of the world where these airplanes are still flown. Not sure if any of them are still flown for passenger service. I do know that American flew them, I think, until 2009. Which is a long life. It's a long life for this airplane. Look at all that. That looks so nice, don't it? think Ryanair still uses them, but thanks. You know, I'm pretty sure Noel Phillips went out and flew on their A300. And yeah, that's... Talk about that, man. You know, I've always thought that, like, some of those YouTubers that go out there and purposefully fly on bad airlines that are, like, rated 1 star, or, you know, not known for their safety record. And they go out there and fly them, and just to get the content, because, you know, a lot of countries in Africa are still using Soviet airliners to this day. Which is pretty crazy to think about. So, I guess if you were that much of an aviation geek that you needed to fly on a particular airplane to make your bucket list, alright, I'm with it, I guess. Just passing below 23,000 feet, or known for their lack of safety. Sebastian, what's going on? He said, I just flew 7.5 hours from Heathrow to JFK. My goodness. Hope it was a good one for you. We are having a lovely descent, nice and gradual. It's almost 2 in the morning. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's late for you, that's for sure. Holy cow. Hoping for another buttered arrival on this one, folks. We're really starting to get the A300 dialed in. She flies very nicely, and I'm starting to learn about the power now, and how the power cuts off when it comes to flaring and all that. And we're starting to get it right on the money. We got minus 139 on the last one, so we'll see exactly what we're going to get on the next one. I'm hoping for around the same, but who knows, I could drop it in like a stone. We'll see. Do I use GSX or toolbar pushback for pushbacks? I use GSX, but only for pushbacks only. I don't use it for really anything else. Toolbar pushback is a good add-on, don't get me wrong. And I used it for a very long time, and I actually was using it recently. I actually had to completely reinstall Flight Simulator in its entirety. I cleared the whole thing out because it was just running awful. And I'm assuming I had a lot of incompatible objects in my community folder. And I read that those can wreak havoc on your performance if you're not careful. So if you have any add-ons in your community folder that are outdated and no longer compatible with the most recent build, and you don't happen to know about it, it'll screw with it a lot. Do I fly on VATSIM? I do not. This is my sky and my sky only. I have flown on VATSIM before, a few times. But I don't have a lot of confidence on the radio. There goes 18,000 feet, which means we now need to get our altimeter all set and ready to go. So let's come over here to our EFB, refresh our METAR for San Francisco. It's looking like The altimeter is 3027. So we'll go ahead and get 3027 dialed in. Whoa! Always do that. You should. You could do like a community flight where people can join. Yeah, I've done that before. I've housed multiplayer sessions where people could join. It's just not a community flight like any of the Cross the Ponds events or anything like that. I've never done. I remember seeing Eastern Airlines A300s in Atlanta. Eastern's coming up on Sunday. Doing their shuttle service between LaGuardia and Newark, LaGuardia and Boston. But they didn't operate the 600s. Yeah, it's as far as I've heard as well, that they did not. And that's kind of the thing that's a little annoying. And it bothers me a little bit when it comes to realism's sake. Is I like flying realistic, like routes, airlines, everything. So when I'm not exactly on the money with it, I'm kind of like, ah. You could do a flight without as many people and make it less stressful? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I had more time to put into it, you know, where I'm not trying to learn while I'm streaming, I think that I would be more apt to do it. But I'm not trying to learn on stream, and I don't have a lot of time, you know. Who cares? Yeah, I know. I want the FlyByWire A380 to finally come out. Yes, we were just discussing that. Well, I was. You know, how we've been waiting on that airplane for so darn long, and it hasn't released yet, and it's just like, come on. Like, come out already. You know, it just makes you wonder, like, how long. Well, we're not developers. I'm not a developer, so I have no idea what it takes to develop airplanes, you know. And as far as I heard, it's a very small team, and it's all voluntary and stuff, so. 200s at steam gauges? Oh gosh. I'd actually like that, you know? I don't care if it's perfect, I just want to fly it. I agree. I agree with that statement for sure. But, you know, if it's a release that's really going to wow the flight sim community, and it really turns out as great as we all hope it will, you know, then I think it'll be worth the wait. Especially if they're putting this much time into it. You know, if it comes out and it's an absolute turd, then, you know, that'll be a little disappointing, but it probably won't be. I think it'll honestly be a pleasant experience. We're about to get below 10,000 feet here, so we are going to slow the airplane down to 250 knots. We are very close to arriving, my friends. We got about 50 nautical miles of flight time left. The music can come off now as well. I can't even hear it. It's just like some kind of background ambiance that was going on there, but it's gone now. FlyByWire has a reputation to defend. Oh yeah, and especially if they're doing all this work for free. You know, I would think that and I think that's what happens with a lot of developers, is they get a lot of pressure to release airplanes that aren't quite ready yet, or, you know, they make, I don't know, it's weird. That's why, like, you know, people are like, oh, buy the Latin VFR planes, and I'm like, I'm not spending the money to get the default A320 cockpit. That I would just have to download a mod off flightsim.to, install it in my community folder to make it FlyByWire compatible to where it has the FlyByWire systems instead. Like, nah, no thanks. I'm all set. before Microsoft Flight Simulator, they were unknown. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of having to, like you said, Dad. We were just talking about it the other night. You know, it's annoying to have to, like, for instance, the Captain Sim 777. Great, there's a 777, but I have to download this mod, in this sound pack, in this to get it. It just, you know, and that's where dragging and dropping all that crap into your community folder, I really think is annoying in a lot of ways, and I think that's why my simulator was running awful. I had no idea what was compatible, what wasn't, and I didn't have the time, nor was I about to sit there and go through each item on my community folder and go into flightsim.to and look to see if there was a newer version available or if it was compatible or not, or remove it. I just said the heck with that and just deleted my entire community folder in one swipe, and then deleted Microsoft Flight Simulator altogether, and then restarted from anew. And that was probably about like a month and a half ago. And ever since then, my simulator's been running flawlessly. And at the time of the drag and drop in the folders, it ends up not working and going in the sim. Yeah, exactly, that too. Or you like, you know, you download scenery enhancements and all that, and who knows what files could be breaking it. Not saying that they are, but you know, I like being able to get in the simulator and not have to worry about whether or not it's going to perform for me. I need to know that it's going to perform for me. Oof, that would take me days, exactly. That's why I just said the heck with it. There goes 10,000 feet. Get our landing lights on now in preparation for our arrival. Alright, let's go ahead and get a look at our IILS chart and get everything entered in that we need to. We'll get this done well in advance. Come down here to our ILS radio. We will tune this to 109.55, the localizer frequency, and then we will do 284. 284 on the course. Lovely. We can also come down here to take off and approach and get our MDA in, which is going to be $213. Had a hard time finding it for some reason. 213, and we will go ahead and get that plugged in up here as well. But we will use 210. There we go. And what is our landing altitude? Our landing altitude looks like it is... Bear with me, I have to look at the chart. And our landing altitude is 13 feet, so we don't even have to set that because it only goes up in the hundreds. Waffle. And now I think it's time that we really start slowing the airplane down a little bit more. This says here to go down to speed of 240, but I don't really trust that because we don't have a lot of room here for error just in case. So because of that, I'm going to slow the airplane down to 220 knots. Because it's really easy to let this airplane get away from you, in my opinion. Just adjust our descent rate to kind of help us out with descending on time and meeting our waypoints. Going through some clouds. stream again tomorrow, folks. 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. FedEx cargo operations. Looking forward to that one for sure. Here we go, about to level off at 6,000 feet. But we're going to do one even better. Right when we make this turn, we are going to start a descent down to 5,000. We have to arm our ILS and our landing mode, and then start slowing the airplane down even more before we turn left, which will probably be a 15-mile final. I think it's a 15-mile final anyway. Alright, there goes the left-hand turn. We will continue on down to 5,000 feet. And lower the speed of the airplane even more. To 200 knots. And then we will let out the slats as well to help slow the airplane down even more. Alright, doing absolutely wonderful. So we'll go ILS and landing. Goes 5,000 feet. We're going to start turning now to stay on course. We should grab the localizer any second. Still haven't captured the ILS yet. There it goes. Localizer's been established. Easy. Easy airplane. Don't do anything too crazy now. Go nice and easy for us. Yep, we're on a 15-mile final. So let's bring the speed back down, or bring the speed down to 180. Alright guys, now's the time. Go ahead and guess the landing rates. There's our runway right in front of us. There she blows. "10-mile final, we'll drop the speed to 160 and lower out the flaps to 15. Everything is looking wonderful. This should be an excellent approach, guys. I'm really looking forward to this one. Seeing if we can get the A300 in smooth as butter again, just as we did before. We're about 10 miles away from the runway threshold right now, so we'll drop flaps to 15 degrees. And we'll, like I said, lower our speed down to 160. This airplane just does so well on approach. iniBuilds did such a good job. Alright, simulator volume going up for your viewing pleasure and the arrival. Enjoy the lovely sounds that the A300 has to offer. We're going to go ahead and get flaps down to 30 now as well. Let's go. Ready for the landing. Alright, let's see what we got. About 5 miles, we'll lower the gear. .129 is our VREF speed. We'll arm the spoilers. 129 for VREF. Go ahead and drop the gear. Wonderful. Gear is down. Got 3 green. Flaps full. Get in a good position for landing. Enjoy, folks. Make this a good one, yeah? At 1,000 feet, we'll take over control and bring her down ourselves. Make sure we come over here and get our mouse ready to disconnect the auto throttle. Get our feet on our rudder pedals. Alright, coming up on 1,000 feet. Autopilot disconnected. Our airplane, auto throttle disconnected. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let us drift too much there, Mike. I was looking at our engine instruments and we were starting drifting. We're going to be high on this one, but it's okay. Got plenty of runway room.
100. 60. 40. 30, 20, 10.
Oh, and a massive float.
5.
Welcome to Los Angeles, ladies and germs. Ate up the whole runway slowing down because I didn't start braking right away. That's alright. A successful landing. Cool beans. Oh yeah. We floated, but we made it down okay. at San Francisco. Alright, we're going to go ahead and stop it right here. And you know what, folks? We never started the replay. Oh, that stinks. We forgot to start the replay tool. But that's alright. You guys saw it happen. Minus 161, we'll take it. No replay tool, folks. Sorry about that. I completely forgot about it. That's on me. Ooh, I know, yeah. Always on the good ones, I seem to forget. Is there another flight? There is not, unfortunately. This is the last one of the evening. However, tomorrow morning, 10:30 Eastern Time, we'll be back in the A300, but we'll be in the freighter for some FedEx cargo ops tomorrow morning, 10:30. Don't miss it. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss when we go live. And, yeah, we'll go ahead and do 2 more flights tomorrow, so feel free to tune in. Holy fire truck. Well, that was just a collision. This is a very weird parking spot. This is not what I thought this was going to be, but that's okay. Oh, is Nightbot still alive? We'll see. Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be asleep. Gonna have to wake it up. It's been a little while since we streamed, so Nightbot may not be working. Parking brake is going to be set, everybody. We are down. We never turned off our landing lights after landing because I thought we were going to do the replay, but I guess not. We screwed that up and forgot to do the replay tool. We never started our APU either. So we will toggle the ground power unit so that way when we shut her down, she doesn't have a meltdown. Head back up to the overhead panel here, connect the external power, bring this over to external. Ooh, a little choppy, and she'll be shut down. Ooh, camera's being weird. What in the world? Alright, well, thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you for tuning in today. Go ahead and get that volume turned back down. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everybody that did. I really appreciate it. Keep in mind, tomorrow we will be back in the A300, but we will be doing FedEx ops. That'll be from Memphis to New Orleans, and then New Orleans to Memphis again. In the A300 freighter, FedEx, 10:30 tomorrow Eastern Time. In UTC, I have no idea what that conversion is, unfortunately. So 10:30 Eastern Time, be there or be square. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you enjoyed the A300 and you want to see more of it, subscribe. You'd really be helping us out, and hit the like button if you wouldn't mind also. Take care, everybody. Have a great Friday evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.